Hello friends, my name is Kari. This is Tiger Lily Designs. Welcome to day 11 of the 12 Days of Stitchmas. Welcome friends, happy Thursday to you. I hope you're having a great day. We're gonna dive right into the fun. I have so much fun to share with you. I did a busy, fully finishing afternoon yesterday. I brought you guys along. We're gonna go take a little quick look at that. So let's just dive right into the fun. If you are here for the first time, friends, welcome. My name is Kari. My channel is about cross stitching and knitting and quilting and just making in the world of all the things. Here I am doing a 12 days of Stitchmas series here on YouTube, giving you a little behind the scenes of my making this first part of December. We will be opening up the ovens at the end of the videos like we love to do. There's also daily giveaways. So hopefully you're going to stick around for some fun. Today's fun is 4 fully finishes. So let me just give you a little behind the scenes clip and then we'll take a closer look at what we've got. I thought it would be fun to do a quick little close-up of the ornaments I finished so you guys could see them up close. So I did 4 different finishes today, and one is going to be the peppermint and pine, the Brenda Gervais. I finished stitching this last year during Stitchmas, and here is this one. This is the one I did a sewing finish on the cording. So there's that option. Then I explored an alternate option, and this is one of the Sheep's Virtues ornaments. Again, it's another cording finish. I always do my little tag opening. You saw me sewing all those closed, and then I just fabric glue my tag on them. Yes, so with this one, I did a glue attaching of the cording. It went so much faster than hand sewing it on, and I really think it gives it a super fabulous, pristine edge of the cord. But my paintbrush, I feel like, was a little thick, although you can't really tell. You don't see. It's good enough for me, and I always add my little gourd pin and charm on the back. The next one that we worked on was a Plum Street Christmas something. This is another, I glued the cording on using Eileen's tacky glue. This one I tried to use a pin, so like a toothpick if I had gone and got just a thinner applicator tool. But again, it was so much faster than hand sewing the binding on. This one I had enough cording where I could wrap the thing around and give myself a little tail. And then last but not least was one of these Prairie Schooler ornaments. I don't remember what year it is, but because I was using rickrack for this one. Sorry, there's random threads everywhere. I used hot glue because hot glue dries faster. You know, with Eileen's Tacky Glue, it's a slow dry, which is what you want. You have time to manipulate the cording and such. But since I wanted to attach rickrack, I didn't really want to sit there and hold it, but I wanted all these points to go down. I thought about going and sewing each point down with a stitch, but because I put interfacing on both the fabric and the stitch, it was hard to stitch through. So I just decided, well, let's give hot glue a try. And I feel like this worked great. Now you got to be fast. And with the rickrack, I didn't have the finish to be able to do a cording turn. So I just I had a little bit of extra from that Sheep's Virtue. So I was able to use that, grab some pins, stick it in for a hanger, take the hot glue and hold it. So I hope you guys, maybe this inspires you. Truly, I'm a done is better than perfect. These guys, almost all of them I finished stitching last year. So taking the afternoon today to get them fully finished and to be able to hang on my tree. I'm so excited. Okay, friends, so what do you think? So like I said, yesterday I did a full afternoon of fun. It was a little time lapse for you, so you didn't do it in real time because it took me about basically the entire afternoon to finish these 4 pillows. So I brought them here, obviously. I've showed them closer to you guys, but let me show you up close and personal here and kind of talk you through a little bit of that time lapse. So if you've been with me for a while, you know I love to finish myself. Done is better than perfect. I am not a professional finisher by any stretch of the imagination, but I love to be able to turn the stitches that I love to stitch into ornaments on my tree. Ornament stitching is one of my favorite, and I love putting bells on them. You can tell they're all jingling. So some of the things that we talked about, just so I can talk you through some of the steps of what I showed you in the time lapse, is my pillow construction. I love, like I said, these were all stitched. Let's talk about the charts first. This was Peppermint and Pine by With Thy Needle and Thread. It was a 3-part series. There's 3 ornaments, a 3 ornament set in one chart. I will link it down below. I will link all 4 of these down below so you guys can grab them if you want to add them to your ornament collection. But they're all stitched on linen. Some of them are called for, like I said, they were all finished stitching last season. And then they got put away in the need to be finished box. Do you have one of those? Yeah, me too. It's a little overwhelming. But I decided at least the ornaments I needed to put, this isn't even all of them. I had 4 more ornaments, but I was like, no, don't overwhelm yourself. This is what I told myself. Don't overwhelm yourself thinking you need to finish all, I think there's like 10 or so ornaments in my need to be finished box. I knew I could not get all 10 done in an afternoon. So I just picked, I won't say my favorite, but I just picked 4 that were close enough where I knew I had some of the work done, meaning I had pulled the background fabrics for them. What I did is I go to my stash. I'm a quilter, so I have quite a collection of fabric stash. I found a coordinating quilting fabric that I love that I think matches the front stitch. I put interfacing on both my front stitch and the fabric. My favorite interfacing for this purpose is going to be 911 by Pellon. Again, I will link it down below. It's a very, very thin interfacing. I just use it to kind of just hold everything in place. You don't want any stretch. You don't want any stretch for your linen. You don't want any of your stitches to come undone. Just, you know, life happens. And so that way, just enough of that 911 fusible interfacing holds everything in place. And then I finish it just the way I finish my rickrack tutorials. I will link that down below. I want to sew around all 4 edges because I want all 4 edges to have a nice crisp finish. I feel like sometimes if I leave a hole in the bottom or a hole on the side, it just is a little too lumpy bumpy for me, where I would prefer to just put a hole / turn hole seam in the back fabric. And so I always do that. I kind of just fold my fabric on itself, create a seam line, and then I go back and I hand rough stitch it closed because I know I'm going to go ahead and put a Tiger Lily tag on the back of it. This is just a way of years from now, my kids will know I made this. You know, if you can get these tags. One of my favorite tags, I will link, she has an Etsy shop, which is where I used to get labels made. It's Album. I will link it to an Etsy shop for custom labels where you can put your name, you could put your Flosstube handle, your Instagram handle, or just your name. Like I said, anything you want. And it's on twill tape. It's a beautiful concept. And then I just do a little Eileen's tacky glue using a paintbrush, and then I stick it on there and it's ready to go. So as I explained to you guys, I did a little mixture of how I finished it, whether I finished it hand sewing the cording on. I also used my cording. I always make my cording with 2 skeins of DMC floss, 1 for each color. I like a 2-color cording. I use a whole skein. I measure it out. I have a cording tutorial here on YouTube. I will link that video down below. But you can, instead of using the cording tool, I use a power drill, a DeWalt power drill with a cup hook on it. Again, the video will give you all the details, but I just sat there and I made 3 different cordings using 3 different colors, again, that I pulled from my DMC stash that I thought matched and coordinated well enough with the stitch. They may not be the exact floss I used. Usually for stitching, I love to use cotton, you know, weeks and gassed and overdyed cottons or silks. And I'm not going to use that for cording. I get a DMC that's in the same family and that works. So I walked you through pretty much all the details, but here they are. You know, I tried stitching first, stitching the cording down. It took a lot longer. Once I did the first one, I was like, you know what? We're going to try something different. And I'm kind of super excited with the way it turned out. Yes, now there's Eileen's Techie glue on my ornaments. My ornaments are not going to live a lifetime, and I'm okay with that. Again, they're going to hang on my Christmas tree. I always use, you know, fabric glue or hot glue when I'm making these kind of finishes. So I'm team glue. So you could definitely hand sew it all. You do not have to use glue for any of it, but that's how I did it. I love the way it turned out. I love this so much. And my favorite thing also, like I said, mentioned, is to throw a gourd pin on the back, a jingle bell, and as a date charm. All of the ornaments on my tree, you can hear them all, except for this one needs one. But I always include a gourd pin, a jingle bell, and a year charm. I get them all on Amazon. I will link them down below. You know, I think I got a 50 pack of 2025s. These are the first 4 ornaments. So I would love to get a few more finished so I could use some of those 2025s. But really, they're not very expensive. And that's just what I love, how I love to just finish them off and call it done. So I was able to finish these 4 ornaments yesterday. So much fun. They're all fully finished, and so now I can add them to my tree. I hope you like them. And this one's a little different because, again, I wanted to rickrack. I hadn't pulled cording or cording colors for this one. I'm like, you know what? Let's go to my rickrack. I have a huge selection of the Lori Holt rickrack that comes on those wooden spools, and this was a perfect way to finish the edge. I love putting rickrack on the inside too when I do pillows, and so if I had sewn it, it would have the rickrack would have popped out the sides. But I wanted to try this technique where I was sewing or attaching it to the side, so it wasn't really super obvious, but it gave you just enough of a finish. All right, friends, let's take a look at today's giveaway bag. It's a thick one. Today we've got day 11, and I believe, yes, it's another quilting pattern collection, a bundle of fabulous 10 or 12 gorgeous quilt patterns. So if you are a quilter, and really if you love, I think these are all Lori Holt quilt patterns too. So if you are a quilter who loves Lori Holt patterns, this may be the bundle for you. Let's take a look of what's included in today's giveaway. The first one we're gonna have is Gentle Flock, a gorgeous quilt. Listen, I'm not gonna say that every time, but I think they're all gorgeous. Crows in the Corn. This one measures 69 by 77. Summer Picnic. Oh, fabulous. This one is Cherish, 76 by 88. This one is fat quarter friendly, so that's super fun. Cakewalk. Cakewalk is a 10-inch square, so almost layer cake friendly. It does have obviously all the background you will need, but all those cakes are made with layer cakes, so that's fun. This one is fat quarter friendly, called Vintage Dishes. The Quilted Snowman. This is 87 by 97. I know Kim Jolly was doing a sew along, I believe this year on that one. Super, super fun. And then we've got the Hometown Holiday Sampler, 93 by 98 and a half, a gorgeous quilt. It's a mixture of half yards, fat quarters, fat eighths, all the things. I know a couple of friends who have made that quilt. It's gorgeous. And then last but not least is the Quilted Scarecrow. This is also going to be fat quarter friendly for the most part. There are a few fabrics that you're going to need more. It measures 80 by 80 and a half. So, so fun. So like I said, these are a fabulous bundle of Lori Holt quilt patterns. If any of those struck your fancy, I will have them all linked down below where you can go and grab them on the Fat Quarter Shop. There's also a fun little quilty notion bag I threw in there from my stash to share with you. So that is today's giveaway. And we're going to use the word cherish. Yeah, we're going to use the word cherish. It was just one of the quilt patterns in there, but I just think that's a lovely word. I would love for you guys to use it in the comment down below. So how you enter into win one of the giveaways is to make sure you use the word down below in your comment. Make sure you're a subscriber to the channel, as well as you give the video a like, a thumbs up, and that is going to get you entered. Remember, all of the giveaways, I'm going to pull a huge giveaway winner announcement video on the 20th. So make sure that you have entered into all 12 days, every day of my 12 Days of Stitchmas video. They all have fabulous bundles of giveaways, so you have plenty of time to binge watch some of the videos, or all of them really, and get yourself entered in to win one of those great prizes. And I will announce all the winners on December 20th. Now also remember, the only way you're going to find out if you're a winner is to come back and watch that video on the 20th. I am not going to contact you. I will not comment on your comment. I will not message you. None of those things will happen. If any of those things happen, they are the gremlins. Don't give them the time of day, okay, friends? So I just want to protect you guys. So that is the giveaway for today. So without further ado, if you don't want to be spoiled with the Advents, as I always say, now is your time to exit the ride, and I will see you tomorrow for the finale of the 12 Days of Stitchmas. I can't believe it's over. That's crazy town. I do have a couple more things scheduled, planned on the agenda for the remainder of December, so I'm not going to go MIA completely, but I will just be some fun bits and bobs throughout the month, coming back and sharing with you guys. But again, if you're only here, you don't want to be spoiled, I will see you tomorrow. But if you're ready to open the Advents with me, let's get into it. All right, friends, so as we love to do, we're going to go ahead and kick off our Advent opening with the Tiger Lily Advent. This is the 12 Days of Stitchmas. This is our day 11 in the pink canvas bag. Any guesses as to what's in here? There's 2 more days left, day 11 and day 12. Remember, mine's just a 12-day box. So Yesterday, remember we had the velvet for the drum. I didn't want to leave you guys high and dry. Now, if any of you guys have been around or have been Tiger Lily fans or, buyers of my boxes, you might have already guessed or maybe hoped that in the box was also those gorgeous Jersey Girl pins, and you are right. This is the gorgeous set of Jersey Girl pins that were in the top of the drum. It was pictured in the drum picture. I almost didn't want to spoil it for you, but there was no way to give you the chart back early on and not show the pins in the drum. But I reached out. This is a mother-daughter team up in New Jersey. I have used them multiple times in my boxes. They are one of my favorite small businesses to collaborate with, to curate from, and to support. It's a beautiful, beautiful small business, and their work is gorgeous. Teresa and Anna, again, up in New Jersey, make beautiful, beautiful pins for smalls, for drums, for pillows, for anything. I will link their Etsy shop. They always are bundling. They're always coming up with new ideas. Their job is probably so much fun to just curate and play with pins and jewelry all day long to come up with some gorgeous pin sets for you guys. Sometimes they collaborate with designers and come up with exclusive pin sets for their patterns. I know that they have worked with Shelly Antique Needleworkers multiple times and created some gorgeous exclusive pin sets specifically for some of her biscornues and small pillows, as well as many other designers. I know she's worked with the Proper Stitcher, just to name a few. So they are a gorgeous small business. I was, again, so excited to work with them and to be able to include this gorgeous pin set in the box. So hopefully you can pop them in your drum if you finish. But if you don't end up doing the drum, if you end up doing a straight stitch, you could throw them into any of your Christmas finishings. They are just beautiful little pieces of art, and I truly appreciate working with you ladies. Thank you. All right, now let's hop into my 2 yarn advents that we have, and this color is called Bundle Up. I have no idea. This is the rainbow advent. We know that it's rainbow. Bundle Up I'm guessing we're going to enter into the blues, coming out of greens. No, we are still in greens. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous green. I'm going to pop this onto my rainbow ribbon. I can't wait to add this to my collection. Again, it's a 24 skein 24-day advent, so we're going to go ahead and open that up as we go. All right, friends, now let's hop into the Leap of Faith yarn advent, which we know is the Noah's Ark, and so we've got day 11. I love to show you guys the animal first. Oh, look at that sweet, it's a pink bird. I have no idea what kind of bird it is. Won't even begin to guess. Gorgeous. It's not a cardinal, is it? No. Beautiful pinks and kind of warm chestnut browns. Gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. And then last but not least is going to be our Stitchery box. We've got day 11. It's not a kit. I have no idea. It's always fun to see what kind of surprises. What is it? Is it just extra fabric? So we can make more? It is. Oh, goodness. I wonder if I'm supposed to know what this is for. So there's like, oh, pickles. There's 6 pieces of fabric. I feel like I shouldn't finish that one stitch until I open up the whole advent, because maybe there'll be directions. It's just 6 pieces, and it feels like the fabric, at least 2 of them, maybe all of them, feel like the fabric that the embroidery is printed on. Is this extra? Oh, we shall see. I'm guessing that as the days come, this will maybe make sense. So you did let me know in yesterday's video that you do want to see. So many of you want to see the Stitchmas, the Stitchery, the rest of the packages. So as I told you yesterday, I am going to go ahead and open 13 through 25, probably after tomorrow's video. I will record it and save it. I don't know when it's going to be up. I'll edit it, but I'm going to go ahead and open it all, but I'll bring you along so you can open it so you can see and probably put it up. I don't want to spoil it for the fans, but it will be completely very transparent. You know what you're clicking on if you click on it. So, but I will be definitely sharing the rest of the packages. Even though I'm not opening, I'm not coming for daily videos December 13 through 25, I will go ahead and open up the rest of the box because you guys are loving that one just as much as me. And I don't blame you. All right, friends, so that is what we've got. We've got the advents and the things, and my ornaments are here on the tree, so that is super fun. So we have one more day. The finale is tomorrow. I can't wait to come back and share with you. So friends, until next time, happy stitching.